Good morning. Welcome to Hack Shack Studios. We are live. Yes, it's been a while. It's been a while. I miss you guys. I missed you guys. So, also, happy Valentine's Day to all your lovers out there. You lovers. You black and white lovers out there. Yeah. We got a great show for you guys. We're going to do about an hour or so. It's going to be like an interview. So, we're going to have Klaus in here, and we're going to talk about his new book, his new Terror in the Trenches, The Black Terror, and he's going to tell us all about it. And he just launched it maybe a week or so ago, so we're going to talk to him. But I thought I would just kind of hang out with you for a little bit, and then we'll get Klaus in, see what you guys are up to. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. It's also been a while since I've done a hacks chat, as it were. So let's see. We got Cam, 1138. Greetings. What's up? We got Power Up, JBot. Hail everyone. Hell yeah. What's up, dudes? We got Past Master. Would not be a party without Past Master and his patented. Wait, I see something else here. God bless you, young man. You saved me from Anna. How did I save you from Anna? I don't know what that means. Hit that like button. I know what that means. Hit that thumbs up, everyone. We got Revens, Saber. Good morning, all. Do you hear that? We got this. It's a pirate chicken. It's like one of those like those old gag chickens that comedians used to use, and they'd make that sound. Like that's what the dog has, and he plays with that thing. But it's a pirate. It's a pirate chicken. So it's like the chicken, but it's got like an eye patch. It's got a peg leg and everything. And he loves making noise with that thing. So if you hear that, that's what that is. Not even a week since I've done a show. Yeah, but when you do like 4 or more shows a week, just doing one show feels like it's been forever. So Pedro, what's up? Ahoy and good morning. Ahoy. K33 Insane. I hope I'm saying that right. Good morning and welcome. How dare you? No love for you. No Valentine's love for you, Andino. You get nothing. Good day, sir. She's painting and listening to Ricada. Oh, okay. Well, good. This will be more entertaining, maybe. I don't know. Oh, you get some loving for each other in the. Yeah, don't. He's on my shit list. That guy doesn't get anything. You guys don't be nice to him. It'll all go to his head. La Mahagante. Howdy, partner. Death Curse says, literally just messaged Vaughn as you were going live. Yeah. He's coming in for sure. I think I got a highs to everybody. I'm gonna do a quick little rundown, little plug for Black and White, little loving. We got some loving the other day, which was great. And we're closing in on 97,000, which is freaking amazing. So this is the reason for the season, as I say. Black and White, Volume 2, Man versus Machine. In a world where law and order is often blurred to gray, justice can only be ... black and white. Excuse me. So we are in demand now. And this is Volume 2. This will be the epic conclusion to the storyline. Origin of Black and White. These are them. This is the dynamic duo. The one on the left is black, and the one on the white is white. Black, aka, well, it's actually Reed Blackett, aka Black, and Whitney Sung, aka White. And like I said, this will wrap up their origin story. So we got Uncle Yi, or Uncle Uncle Yi with his baseball bat. We got Brooks Gray with his big blaster, and they're going to take on some robots for sure. So we got the variant by Kenneth Racafort. So this is for volume 2. We got the incredible Joe Bennett with his variant cover. Amazing. And then we had the High Octane Adventure, which was done by Von Klaus and Pedro Eng. Von Klaus we will have in here very, very soon. So that's going to be a 22-page animated type story. And so we have the second printing of volume 1 here with a new cover. So if you guys want to get the complete story, you can get this issue. We completely sold out of the original version. So this will be the second printing. And so we still have a few of the Greg Capullo variants on the right. We sold out of the remastered on the left. And you can only get that in the jam tier, the black and white jam tier. You cannot get that as an add-on. All the other books you can get as an add-on, but you cannot get that one. These are original story pages. They're only $40, and this is the only original artwork we have right this very minute. So these are story page layouts, and they're on 8.5 by 11, but they're folded in half. So you only get half of that. So whatever that size is. And they're pretty detailed, and they're all penciled and inked. So all of them are marker. They've got these little marker doodles on them, and some of them are pretty detailed. So come by, pick that up. You can get those as add-ons as well. The original head sketch, I think there's one left as an add-on. And we got all these cool stretch goals all the way up to 90K. So the link is in the description, you guys. So come by, check it out. We have some cool black and white t-shirts. We got the wraparound t-shirt here, which is pretty darn cool. Done by Shay, aka Red Valkyrie. And then we have the Inko t-shirt, which is done by Elizabeth, aka D Geek Art. Indeed. And so, yeah, there's all kinds of stuff here, you guys. Come by, check it out. There's artwork in the updates. So if you come, you click on the updates, you can see some of the pages that I've posted. So there's that one. And then we have this here. So there's all kinds of cool stuff, giving you guys a little sneak peek on what's to come. So yeah, come by, check it out. And if you see something you like, then back it. Would greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much. Let me come back, see what you guys are up to. Yeah, let's see what we got here. I'm going back in time. I always say that when I go back in the chat because things move so fast. You guys are on fire. You know what? While I'm doing that, I'm gonna invite Von Klaus in here. Let's get some Von Klaus action. Where the heck is Von Klaus? There he is. Boom, boom, boom. All right. He's got the link. All right. So where were we? We were going back in time. Past Masters says, let's go. That's not that good. And Dino, even though you're on my S list, I'm going to read this. Ethan tried to cancel me on Twitter. Andrea will hear of this. Well, what did you do, man? You're always shooting your mouth off. Yeah, man, behave yourself. Yeah, the Roquefort, the Roqueforts, indeed. We got Jeff Potts. How you doing, Jeff Potts? Another new face, Christopher John. How are you, my friend? Oh, Joe Bernardo. Hey, Joe, thank you so much for the meme with James Bond reading the black and white comic book. We got a little bit of traction. I think that's the reason why. So if you guys don't know, check out my Twitter. Check out Joe's Twitter and his Facebook, and you'll see it's Pierce Brosnan. The James Bond, or as James Bond, and he's got a black and white comic book that he's reading. It's pretty cool, and Joe put that together for us. So thank you for that. Oh my goodness, we got royalty. We got royalty. We got CG royalty, comics artist pro secret. I believe this is Ethan Van Sciver. How are you? Good morning. Good morning, sir. And Dino Palacio is over party. Is that what that says? Is over party? I don't know what that means. You guys got something going. Something going. Blackett, read Blackett. Exactly. Shaken, not stirred. We got Donald DeLay. What's up, my friend? Just great stuff. When's Cash Grab gonna drop, my friend? When's that gonna happen? Hopefully soon. We got some high Ethan's high. Is that what you guys are saying? Well read. Welcome. Hey Art, looking forward to this interview. Yeah, it's gonna be good. As soon as we get Vaughn in here. Damn it, Andino. There are no trolls in CG. Yeah, you know what, Andino? I usually say nice things about your artwork. I usually say, how's it coming along? It's looking good. I'm not going to do that today because it's not only me, but you're turning against everyone. No one likes you today. I said today. I mean, you could redeem yourself. It could happen. Power up J-Bot. Good morning, comics. Yeah, everybody's saying hi to Ethan. Let me see what this says. Royalty. Did Art just call Ethan Van Sciver a queen? No, there are kings. Kings are royalty. Comicsgate kings. Show tonight, possibly. God, where is Von Klaus? Where is he? I figured he'd be in by now. Let's see. Cecil has to learn how to write first. Well, I would think it would be written first. Ask Cecil, bro. LOL. I'm in the dark there. Oh man, what a team! That is not the team supreme. The Prince of Pie. Ethan is the Prince of Pie. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find some artwork then. I'm gonna find some artwork and I'm gonna share it with you guys. Let's go here. Yeah. Oh, have you guys seen that Doctor Strange what is it? The Multiverse of Madness or whatever? Looks pretty good. Yeah, I saw the trailer last night. It looked pretty good. And actually, I don't really expect much from the new Jurassic Park movie, but that looked pretty good too. Yeah, I was surprised. Oh, there he is. There he is. What's up?
Hey.
Of the hour.
Good morning to you. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Oh, new Jurassic does look pretty good for what it is, right? Just like dinosaur spectacle, action scenes, and craziness. Don't expect all the soulful story stuff. Just enjoy the dino.
Yeah, exactly. Like after the first movie, it was pretty damn clear that we weren't going to get anything like the novels or anything, that was any deeper than dinosaurs running amok. But there's good dinosaurs running amok, and then there's bad dinosaurs running amok. And the second one, there's some bad dinosaurs running amok. I was like, they have hunters, right? And there's no like dino slaughter. Like there was no dino slaughter in that movie. And the best we got is that girl doing Gymkata. Remember the daughter of what's his name? What's the character's name?
Malcolm? No.
Yeah, Malcolm. Yeah, it was Malcolm. No.
Yeah.
No. Malcolm's the
Malcolm.
guy in the dark. He's the mathematician, right? Is that Malcolm?
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
that's Malcolm.
Yeah, let's just call him Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, because his daughter like does that little like Gymkata move where she does that little flip out and then she kicks the raptor and then knocks him on his ass, and then they couldn't even show like the raptor was dead. They had to show like the raptor after he fell, he gets back up and shakes it off and runs off.
Yeah, But don't they kill a puppy in that movie?
They kill a bunch of humans. They kill all kinds of stuff.
Like the dinos get to kill everyone. We can't.
Yeah, the dinos kill everybody. And I thought like this was one of those.
Where's the 50 cows, man?
Yeah, those early SJWs, they could. Those guys were armed to. Remember, they were like hunters, and they were armed to the hilt.
Yeah,
and
they got owned.
Yeah, all you see is like there's like this dark shot of them in like some kind of like long grass, and you just see gunfire. Remember that? You just see like gunfire.
It was very samurai. I appreciated that. That was
right,
cool.
but not one death of a raptor, just a bunch of them.
Oh no! Oh, they're too evolved. They're too efficient. Yeah, right. A human being with a gun can do some. We're survivors too ourselves as a species, man. Yeah. We'll do some damage. We do damage.
That's just always, I don't know why, but those raptors are such assholes. I just want to see, one of those things go down,
I mean, I think it turns into a different movie when that happens. It becomes less of the bring your family. It becomes more of the movie I want to watch like late at night,
Yeah, bring your family and watch every human get slaughtered.
Right. But God forbid the extinct computer animal dies. We don't want that.
Yeah,
they're endangered as it gets.
I know we're going off a little bit of a tangent, but this is the fun part of life, I think, tangents. And yes. I remember when the first Jurassic Park came out, and I had read the Crichton novel before the book
Me too.
Came out
as a little kid,
and so I was already kind of like, oh, I know what it's going to be like. And so, Jurassic Park fever's catching on. So we're at a party and she's talking to me and she's like, I won't let my kids see Jurassic Park. It's too violent. And I go, what are you talking about? She goes, it's so realistic. Like, those the dinosaurs and all that stuff. And I go, that dinosaurs aren't real. Like, this is all, like they can't hurt you. This is all they're extinct.
Okay, so will she not buy dinosaur toys for her kid if that's just reminds them of the violence of the evil dinos? You know what I mean? Like, it's weird. And that's like dinos are like kids' favorite things. That movie, when I saw it in theaters, it's one of the few movie theater moments in my life where the audience was cheering and screaming and horror and like laughing their asses off. So it was an experience movie back then. I mean,
that movie,
taking your kids to it is sad. That's sad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's like Star Wars. The first Star Wars comes out and says, "No, Billy, you can't go see Star Wars." It's like, and then they grow up getting angry at their parents. It's like, you didn't let me go see Star Wars.
It was the event. It was an event. No one had ever seen it. That's how I try to create my stuff. Try to make something no one's ever seen. That's like classic and new at the same time, and make it big. Make it, larger than life.
Yeah.
Make it an event.
Yeah, just one more thing about the dinosaurs. I remember Aurora had these dinosaur model kits when I was a kid, right? So I had all of them. My friends had them and stuff like that. So we wanted, because we lived in LA, because there's still tar pits. There's La Brea tar pits, where a lot of the animals have, met their fate. And then they kind of like, dig and they can find all these like skulls and these bones and stuff like that, which is very, very cool. And so I kept the water running in the backyard in this one area that we kind of dug up, and I kept it just a drip for days. And we built our own tar pit. Like, you could actually we just kept loosening the dirt and getting it wet, and you could actually sink in the dirt.
You made quicksand? You should box it off and have a quicksand box. Quicksand box. And be like, kids, you can play there.
Got stuck in it. Yeah, but we probably all of our model kits met their fate in that La Brea tar pit. So there's probably a bunch of plastic in there right now.
Right, just forever, just
just frozen and
fossilized. And then someday that'll be an ember, and then they'll be brought back.
The ember, they'll bring back the model kits. Yeah. So, anyways, there's a lot of people in the chat. They were like, "Where's Monster? Get Monster in here." So, man, it's been a while since I've talked to you, and you got this great new campaign, the Terror in the Trenches. This is the Black Terror. So, one I like to do with these hacks chat is, I know that a lot of people probably know your backstory, but if there's anybody new to it, backstory. Kind of how did you get into comics and stuff like that? And then we'll get into your campaign.
I'm a child of the 80s. I walked into a comic book shop at around age 8 with a love for like Wolverine and Eastman and Layer's Ninja Turtles and Punisher and all the dark Avenging stuff. And the indie stuff, the pulpy stuff, all the gritty awesomeness of comics, the punkness of it. I was in love with it at immediately. And I started making comics at age 8. And throughout my life, that's what I always did. I came back to making comics. So I'm an art nerd, kind of. I'm an art history guy. I studied art in Italy a little bit. I've studied graphic design. I also was in pre-med. All these things kind of approach how I create. My mom gave me an affinity for love of nature and all things creepy and weird and supernatural stuff. And then my dad gave me like a love for the 80s action movies of like RoboCop, Predator, and Terminators. And he loved all that stuff. And I got to enjoy bonding with him over that. And I think all of those movies and that style, the style had such an influence on me. Anyway, so I've been a lot of things in life, but I've always come back to comics. I went to college to study film and screenwriting and directing, made a little bit of movies, figured out real quick that film was not for me. It's just not my thing. It's not the way I create. It's not the way I want to tell stories, even though I love it. Right. And I have a real cinematic style to my writing.
It's very collaborative and you have to use a lot of people, right? I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to film.
There's too many for me. So instead of being energized by being on set by some of like the film people are, all my energy drains and I can't create. My antenna doesn't work that way when there's tons of other people. I just get sapped. My antenna's at home working at comics, like that's where I'm at my best, I guess.
Yeah, it's true. I've been on some sets and I mean, they might film for 2 days and get like 2 minutes of like screen footage. I mean, it's a slow process,
tedious and costly. How am I supposed to make my great stories into big movies? You know what I mean? There's great tech to do that nowadays, but it's just not the way I roll, man. I love comics. I also figured out that when you work in that industry, sure, you can hit pay dirt, make some good money, but your work gets changed too much for my liking. I like to control it. I like to make a production packet of all, Anyway, so I was making comics. I was a bouncer in Chicago for a while making comics. I was a tea house manager when I was making Monster MD, which was my first big breakout hit with Comicsgate and in the indie world. And
that book is spectacular, man. That book is so freaking cool.
Oh, I appreciate it. I think people are going to like Terror even more because I've become I think our team is even, it's the same Monster MD team for the most part. And like, it's just great. We're at our best right now. What else can I say? I live in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm a contrarian kind of heavy metal, punk rock, 80s horror nerd, but I'm also like an arts enthusiast. I'm really big on expression. My work is a combination of all those things I've like loved throughout my life. I mean, growing up watching Flash Gordon and Star Wars and Big Trouble in Little China and like all these like great adventure and action films, I feel like give me a lot of joy and I want to like spread that in my work.
Okay, back onto Big Trouble in Little China. Okay, so
hell yeah.
Is I love that guilty pleasure? Like, can we, because it used to be kind of a shameful thing if you said you're
really?
A fan. Yeah, at least in my circles.
Right.
So was it a guilty pleasure, like with your friends, or was it always something that was loud and proud? Like, yeah, Big Trouble.
My generation was loud and proud. We'd lay out a blanket and do kung fu moves while the movie played as little kids and just dug it.
That is one of my all-time favorite. I always still feel like I have to say guilty pleasure, but holy shit.
Not with me, you don't.
Yeah. Kurt Russell, what was he doing? His John Wayne like impression, right?
Jack Burton. Me. Yeah. It's one of the few times you see Russell doing a lot of straight up comedy too. He does some great stuff.
They do it like in all like that. That's the thing about like new movies, modern movies. They don't get the tone. Like you gotta play that stuff straight. Like there is not one time when anybody in that Big Trouble in Little China break character or let you know that this is campy. Like they're all in. They believe this world.
Beautiful.
They're in the universe. It's moving along. And you know what? That movie doesn't make any apologies. It doesn't slow down for explanation. it just keeps going, man. And I want to get back to movies like that because I think we're so logic based now. Like, everything has to make sense. You have to explain things. But I also think if you overly explain those things, you lose the fun. And also sometimes when you try to make explanation for why everything is, it makes you scrutinize the film in a way that you shouldn't. Like these superhero films, like I don't think they should ever really be done too, like realistic, because I think it takes you out of the reality of it, and it makes you question the reality. You know what I mean? You start scrutinizing it in a way that you shouldn't, because a lot of that stuff is really superficial and it's just done for fun.
It's knowing what not to add to leave that allure and that mystery and that part that makes us imagine or wonder. That's where the magic's at right there, I think.
Yeah. And not ask questions, not ask like, why can that character fly and all that stuff. Just like just make it matter of fact.
It's just made up.
Yeah. Move along. Yeah. And if you can't
enjoy the ride.
If you can't suspend the disbelief, well, that's fine. But there's a lot of people that, can. So I wanted to talk about like a Black Terror a little bit, but I think maybe we should show the campaign first, and then we can get into more detail, because I know it's I think I've seen Dynamite and some other publishers. So is it a public domain character?
It is. Yeah, he's from the good old World War II days. He was the guy readers went to when they wanted to see a guy in all black just murdering Nazis, just horribly. He would gun them down. He would use superpowers to lift up their airplanes and smash them and all kinds of fun stuff. And he would inhale this ether that made him gave him his powers. And that was kind of the origin story for him.
Okay.
There's your basic building block for that. I have seen him done in different ways that have been really cool over the years. But for some reason, I just felt like there was this much untapped potential coolness for this character that I kept seeing. And I like the dark, creepy, gothy heroes who like give a chill to the other heroes. You know what I mean? I like that loose cannon-y dark guy who creeps them out, even the good guys out. And I'm like, Black Terror could be that, but he just kind of isn't. He's portrayed kind of as pirate superhero, which didn't even make sense for me or really work. It just kind of is. It's not very exciting. It can look cool when Alec Ross does like a sweet cover and does his designs. Like it looks cool enough, but it's not quite what I saw for the character.
I always thought he was a pirate because he's got the skull and crossbones, and that's like that's a pirate symbol, for the most part. And so
they gave him a cutlass.
Yeah, I never dug any deeper into it. So are you saying
there isn't much else?
Oh, really? Okay.
Like there's not much else to his character when it comes to he doesn't like float in on a ghost ship or anything cool like that, really. He just kind of has a super strength and durability and says, "Are you scared of me?" Or like because he's a pharmacist for his job, like he'll say, "I prescribe pain," and like punch someone, So like that's how he's been done lately.
So he's not a traditional pirate though. So this is during the Second World War, right?
Right. I made him into more of a trench warrior. With trench knives, no pirate sword, no cape, no pirate theme or boots or anything like that. He's an all black clad, dark avenging like nightmare who shows up in the trenches. Trench knife in each hand, super strength, super speed, knife in his mouth, and he's coming through those trenches like a blender, like tearing it up like Wolverine on a bender.
Oh,
like
sweet!
It's scary.
Just to clarify, so none of the other versions of the Black Terror have been like this. This is completely original to this concept.
As far as I know. As far as I know, and I'm still getting to keep him in that World War II origin that the original character comes from. So that was cool. I thought that was kind of fun.
Also, the original character, how can he be a pirate from the Second World War? Like pirates predate that, right?
Well, I think the original version didn't play up the pirate thing as much. He was more just classic Golden Age superhero. And then over the years, it was like we didn't know what to do with him or whatever. So people were like, he's kind of piratey. He's got a skull and crossbones.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Now, for me, I took that ether, that formic ether, that what gave him his powers in the original story, and I converted it into something in this story called terror gas. That's this green gas that he carries in these vials with him, and they're like poppers almost. And he gets high in the middle of battle, and it keeps him strong and durable. But it also secretes a fear toxin when he breathes out. So when he gets close to you, you see him as what you fear most. I wanted
that's awesome. Yeah.
Black Terror to live up to his name, you know.
Yeah.
So he becomes kind of like he's a good guy, but he's got this fear toxin coming off of him. So the terror gas becomes a big part of this story in a way. It's very toxic.
So that's what's happening to the Nazis here. Are is the gas coming off of him? Is that why they're fear?
They're scared of him because he just drop kicked one of their airplanes out of the sky and landed.
I see.
But like, because they know it's him. Like the idea in this story is that he got his name from like Nazi headlines. They would call him the Black Terror, der Schwarzterror. But like when he gets closer, they will see him as what they fear most. And I think there is a page, if you scroll down, of he's going to inhale it, and we just learn about how it works. We see it coming out of his mouth. That looks so cool. It's so animated. It reminds me of Bruce Timm so much. And then the guy we're going to learn a lot about him in a few pages. Like he's very durable. And then you go here, you scroll down a little, and then you see, he's this horrific skull coming for the guy, scaring the hell out of him. And
he blows the guy's head right off.
Yeah.
Oh no, he
slashes.
Yeah,
he's a knives guy. I wanted it to be personal and creepy, and I just love trench knives. They're a very brutal weapon. They're long. They're almost a sword when you hold one, in your hand.
Yeah.
Also, that goes back to making him more trench warrior.
Well, it's also like you said, it's a very personal kill. It's not from a distance. You have to get in pretty close to use a knife.
Yep.
You can choreograph fight scenes, so you don't have just people from distance, shooting at each other. He's right into the mix. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Every time.
Look at that guy's holding his head. General, boss.
Yeah.
What do we do now?
Superior officer on deck. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great book. This is the best thing I've ever made, man. This story is so cool. It's one of those things that I thought I would never make officially, but it would just be this kick-ass script, and I would like pitch it to friends sometimes, like artsy buddies, like, what do you think about my Black Terror? But when I talked to Monica about it, she lit up. She got all excited. It was like, we could make this work. We could do this. And I think the results speak for themselves.
Monica, or your colorist?
Yeah, my artist from Monster MD.
Oh, sweet.
From Italy. Killer artist. Just unbelievable. She's amazing. Great person.
It's fun, but it's not like kid friendly fun necessarily. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting to see like something in a more animated style, but done very, very serious. Like adult. I guess it's not serious, but adult.
I'm playing it straight. Yeah. Like it's so, when I was a kid, to me, the coolest stuff had this kind of look, this kind of like, to me, the Ninja Turtles were the essence of like, it's fun and kind of cartoony, but it's like so dark and gritty, and they murder Shredder the first issue, Oh, look at this page. They see, this Nazi sees him as this giant golem reaching for him, it's real creepy.
That's awesome. I like the guy's arm flying.
Oh yeah. Whoops. I love that samurai style, the limbs flying and everything. But I wanted him to come across as this kind of hero who walks the thin line between good guy and villain. I wanted him to have that losing, like, also that brutality to him, where it's like you can tell he can lose his mind from this.
The drug
violence.
Get lost in it.
Yeah, the drug does it too. Yeah. Definitely.
I think that you put him in a really good setting where he could wreak a lot of havoc. That's the thing about like characters like Wolverine. Like when they try to make him, like, there's two Wolverines, right? There's two Batmans as far as I'm concerned as well. Like there's the one that they try to like give it like the G rating, like, oh, it's good, clean fun, But the thing is, they gave him stabbing tools, right? He's got like claws on the ends of his hands. So
Yeah.
he can't really fight with the claws against another human because he would just shred them up. Like it would get incredibly graphic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they can't really do that. So when I was a kid, the best thing, the stories I liked is when Wolverine would get into like the danger room and fight robots, like before they made it virtual, where he could actually just shred up robots physically. Because it's the only time you could get that visceral kind of, action. Because, the rest of the story would be like Wolverine just standing around or leaping, but he could never really do anything. And that's why these characters are really, you got to put them in a setting, and you have to be okay with the tone to let them do these things, because this is like really cool to see. And like for me, there's two Batmans as well. There's like the brooding, like Dark Knight detective, and then there's the Batman that hangs out with Robin, that the kids read.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. It's really another thing I liked about when I remember a comic of Wolverine that blew my mind as a kid, where you opened it and within a few pages, he's just, I think it's a splash of him just going full uppercut on a boar, and he's just ripping that boar in half. And like, so they could get away with that. And then he's eating it like an animal in the woods with like steam coming off of it in the night and everything. And I was like, what the, like Wolverine's amazing.
He's an animal, man. He's
an animal.
Yeah.
I just love that. And like, like that's what I want to see from my heroes, man. I want them to be themselves. I want them to be as dark and gritty as they need to be,
and the thing is, like, you can kill as many Nazis as you want, and either left or right, it doesn't matter what your race, religion, whatever. Everybody cheers when a Nazi goes down.
That's right. That's right. And it's great because this whole book is called Terror in the Trenches, and the setting for the most part is the trenches of his old neighborhood after the Nazis from his past bomb it into oblivion.
So it's like, wow.
It's very personal, and it's very it's just one big ashen battleground graveyard of doom for the whole book. It's very John Carpenter, We're not for the whole
it's book. Very personal because it's like it's his neighborhood, you know what I mean? So it almost has like an urban feel to it as well, like Batman in Gotham, that type of thing. Where he's got to purify the city or take care of the criminal element. So it's almost like you're treating these Nazis as like they're criminals. They invaded his neighborhood. He's going to clean up.
Exactly. That's exactly the story. Just a brawl in his hood, man. The way it has to be.
Dude, I love talking story with you, man.
It's so fun. See this page here with the knife with the saw serrated edge on the end? The other side. So those were a real thing from World War I and World War II that were made illegal in World War I for being too brutal and too horrific. The people who made them, some of them would claim, oh, we did it to have like a saw that we could use for trees, but like you're not sawing through no tree with a bayonet, man. You're sawing through people. You're sawing through bone. You're stabbing people, and then it pulls their guts out when you pull it out. So like this was made illegal, and I heard that I held one in my hand at a flea market, and it was a wonderful inspiration moment where I was like, this is what my villains will use. This was what their philosophy will be based on, this creepy sawback blade, as it's called. And I read it, or I heard that if they captured someone with one of these blades in World War II, they wouldn't hold them prisoner. They would just shoot them.
Because they knew they were brutal.
They knew these guys were brutal. Yeah. Wow. And Black Terror discovers this, and he starts losing it himself, pops a bunch of gas, goes blackout mode, and gets a little brutal from there.
Like it wasn't brutal enough. Like he just stepped
right. Yes, that's this book. That's we're going for both fists. Look at this great terror gas from our colorist Tiago Barça. He is incredible, perfect.
I love the little textures, like a little, because it's not just straight airbrush color. There's like these textures to it and things. It's very
feels. Cool. You can feel the environment. You can, it's great.
I like the blood, the red and the greens and the blacks work really well together. This is great. Well designed, man. Oh, look at the mild manner.
I'm just a pharmacist. Yeah.
He's got the whole Clark Kent vibe going,
Yeah. He's great. I like to think that, something happens in World War II to Terror, man, that makes him like leave the skull behind, and he marries Annie, the love of his life, and they open this pharmacy together and kind of take care of their little neighborhood, which makes it more personal because he's like the caretaker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's lost Annie; she's dead, but he still carries on for her. But when Nazis from his past blow it all to hell, man, he's got to terrorize again. He's got to get gassed up and get back out there. You can see he's a little young, even though it's been 30 years. Like the terror gas, kept him spry over the years.
Okay. So this is kind of like there's some time, like there's like flashbacks.
Yes.
Or
we've jumped to the 1975 New York City, which was called Fear City at the time. For real, that's historical. Check it out. Fear City, baby. So I picked Strivers Row for his neighborhood. I don't know much about that neighborhood, but I like something about that name.
The name, yeah. For some reason, I'm looking in this like closet thing, and it's kind of painted green, and it looks like stacks of like money.
Oh, that's I'm where like, the money is. Well, it should be. It should be like so he uses these secret tunnels to take a shortcut to work. And so those are like the rust in the pipes and like some bricks from the tunnels.
Yeah, I know, but like when I looked at it, I was like, oh shit, it looks like stacks of money. This guy's doing okay for himself.
Yeah, he's wheeling and dealing those drugs. Well, when I read a version of Terror that made him a pharmacist and made it like it was a bad thing, kind of made fun of him for it, mocked him, said, pharmacists are those guys who just stare at you and don't do anything. Will you wait 30 minutes for your drugs? Like it was this weird thing where he like hated himself. And I was like, that's so lame. He would be confident. He would like helping people. The idea of he used to, maim people. Now he's gone to mending them. He likes to think that he's doing better at helping people out that way in life. But then, yeah, man, it's classic dark hero, right? He gets forced into coming back, right?
Yeah. And also it's kind of like the mild-mannered, pharmacist, would never harm a fly. And then,
right. You would never expect.
Kind of like, the librarian kind of idea.
Right. Well, I liked that the idea that he can use his skills in pharmacy to help himself in heroic ways too, or in battle. Like there's a scene where he finds some natural herbs and someone's burnt out, blown to hell kitchen, and he's able to mix some drugs from it. And tend to his pain, tend to his wounds. So like, it's not something to just blow off. I think it's something that, that kind of makes him who he is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you ever been really, really sick and then went to the pharmacist and you were just like counting the seconds because you just needed that medication?
Oh yeah.
Like these guys can be considered heroes, man. Cause I've been in those situations.
Oh my God, they work their asses off and they're so knowledgeable and they have to be so perfect or else, bad things happen. It's pretty intense. I have a friend who's a pharmacist, so I've asked her a few questions too. She's awesome. She's got great stories. But this is, to be honest with you though, it's very little setup in this book, man. We cut right to this lovely lady walking in and his past just coming back to blow everything to hell right away.
Well, I'm just going to make a prediction. You don't have to because I don't want to spoil anything. But usually if a woman is impeccably dressed like this, like really sharp and has a good fashion sense, they're usually evil.
Up to no good. Yeah. It's evil, stylish women of the world. They're out there.
It's a little Cruella de Vil-ish,
Yes. Yeah, very. She has that flair to her. She's definitely that is Detonetta, and we'll see more of her when we get past the art. We'll see her character designs more and stuff.
That's a great design. I love that character. Yeah.
She's fun.
Oh wait, is this his lair?
That's the Terror Dome.
Oh shit, dude! This is awesome.
So cool. Yeah.
I always love that stuff, man. Like the Phantom goes into the skull cave and he's got his throne and everything. Yeah.
Yep. Which is, it harkens to the Golden Age still while being a little new. I've got all his gas canisters around him. That's kind of one of the things in the story. His gas is always looming and kind of controlling, and he has to be careful or else he'll lose his mind. He'll go berserk.
Dude, this is a great story page too, because this is one of those reveal page, because I was looking just straight at the throne and then out, and then I looked down and there's that killer shadow and the arm in the foreground, because that's the doorway. And I didn't notice that right off the bat. That is great. Holy shit.
Tiago is bringing the magic, but I mean Monica too, like the way she helped tell the story of his world and brought us in. I mean, I give her these detailed descriptions, but like designs like that sweet skull above everything out of the tiles there. I mean, it's just that's Monica's brilliance.
Yeah.
I love the mix of mad scientist gear in there too. Like,
yeah, did she indicate the shadow here, or was that the colorist that painted that in?
I don't think she did. I think that's Tiago's brilliance right there.
Oh my gosh, that is so. When I was in a band, we used to say "tasty." That's a tasty lick.
Tis tasty.
That is tasty.
When I saw, I didn't have to edit this page. I was just like, "Yep, we're moving on. This is killer. This is killing it." Like, well, no, actually, wait. I added lighting. I had some. There's some of this lighting coming in from other rooms. I had that added to kind of help the background of with the skull pop from the canisters. We added that lighting. Yeah. But like but Tiago, like that shadow is perfection for telling the story, man. He's going back to the dark side.
Yeah. Oh, this is such a great page, man. Very cinematic, very noirish with the shadow. There's just so much going on here, just design wise and style wise. This is great.
Hell yeah. Thanks, man.
Wow, dude, I'm freaking jealous. I usually get like I get pissed and I get jealous when I see stuff really, really good, and then that turns into like creativity.
Fuel.
But at this point right now, I got to tell you, Vaughn, I'm just pissed.
Just fucking angry.
I'm just pissed.
Get me in. Roar, Hulk it out.
Speaking of hulking it out, man, he's just ripping off his
white coat.
Yeah.
God. I think I kind of wanted it to be more like burnt and black, so it's like he's already like halfway there, you know what I mean? But there's some char on there. But yeah, like you see that he's got this mad scientist thing going, which I love too. You know, it's he invented these formic ethers back in the day for the original one. Mine invents terror gas, and it's a very toxic substance. But he's lucky that it gave him these powers. But at the same time, you know, he kind of poisons himself. So here's what's cool, Art, is that now the skull and crossbones doesn't have to be a pirate on his chest. Now it can be like a toxic thing.
Do you hear that?
Yeah, what's that?
I got to show you guys. You can't I got a dog here. I got to come back because I talked about this earlier. Okay. Sorry for the interruption, but
no worries.
It's the pirate chicken I was telling you guys about. There's the pet bird. And this thing, it makes really obnoxious sounds. Yeah. It sounds like a kid getting like mauled. You know?
I thought like some kids had come into your house or was screaming for attention.
We'll play with that later, dude. You gotta go away. We're doing a show here.
Yeah, I got my cat high as hell on catnip and then sent him outside on an adventure, so I'm good for that show.
Well, let's go back. Sorry about that. I had to take his toy away from him.
Of course.
He's misbehaving.
No worries. Well, basically all I'm saying is that, you know, by making the terror gas more of like a creepy toxic thing, making it more like evil, like it makes his skull and crossbones on his chest gain new meaning, which is like toxicity and poison. Like, and in the beginning of the book, Black Terror says it represents death and that he's death and he's death coming for you. You know, he's just a creepy badass coming for you, for the bad guys. But like his wife's like, I don't know, man. It seems like you poison yourself in order to take on evil. So maybe it just means, maybe it's more about poison. And it seems to poison the things going on in your own personal life because, I mean, she'll see him as what she fears most if she gets close to him after he's popped one of these.
Yeah. And also like old school, like labels, they used to put a crossbones on them, you know, if it was
right.
Yeah,
right.
Like, I don't think they do it anymore because it's like, oh, we live in this PC universe. But it used to
in industrial chemicals, you'll see all that shit all the time. Caustic, poison, like, oh yeah, man, it's there. It's a great symbol. But yeah, I'm kind of reinventing it that way, I think, by doing him this way.
Yeah, it looks great. Is this one splash page and then another one?
We're not on share anymore.
Oh shoot.
No worries.
Oh, I didn't hit the button. There we go.
Hey.
So is this page, do these go in order? Is this
they're not. Yeah, like that is the next page after that one. Yeah, some of the pages go in order,
like,
some don't in this.
Yeah, like Pedro Ang and myself, we're working on that, the black and white high octane book that you did the great story for. And there is like a pacing to your storytelling.
Yeah.
And you'll knock out a couple splash pages in a row. And sometimes the splash pages traditionally don't exist. Like you don't see them, but in Von Klaus storytelling you do. And I think it's very cool. So I'm starting to pick up on that you do have a style to your pacing and your storytelling, which is cool.
I do. Yeah, when I wrote this script, I think I gained a new, I think I started to gain my style and pacing more from doing this book. And the splash pages that I do throughout this book help me gain appreciation and just understanding for how to use them effectively in a fun way. So like you'll catch me in my 20 pagers, like finding those big moments to make splash pages still throw a splash in there when they don't expect it. And I love the power of the page turn. That's great too.
Yeah, so but it's interesting that you'll have a splash page and then a splash page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very rarely do you see that in.
I like to mess with
it. Yeah, I think that's neat. Yeah, it's cool. I got a dog that just wants attention.
There's no rules. Like what I love about that's like part of the fun of how I create. Like I don't have rules and page counts that I worry about. I'm just like making a splash page. Have fun with it. I love this one because it came out so cool with the grave and the sunlight through the trees and what Tiago captured with the atmosphere here.
And so this is the love of his life that he lost, right?
This is Annie. Yeah. She kind of cleaned him up and built him up again after he felt, like he kind of lost himself in the violence and of the war and his kind of ODing on tear gas. And they became doctors to their neighborhood, caretakers. They loved everybody. And everybody misses her type thing. And so, and there's her grave. It's all black terrored out.
Oh my gosh, she's got like a black terror headstone and everything.
I hope I have a grave like this someday.
That's cool. I always said to cool. I was like, if you're going to bury me in the ground, like I'll just be, I just cremate me. That's not my usual. Yeah, but like, if you're going to bury me in the ground, I want a freaking statue.
Yeah. Art. Just like holding your favorite pencil or pen and just like being a badass.
Yeah, look contemplative, while, reading a comic book or something,
Yeah, while reading Mad Magazine, something awesome. Yeah, I'd be down with that.
Yeah. Otherwise, what's the point? One of those little flat marker things, who cares, right?
Yeah, man. It's just people pass that up. Like, let's.
Well, hell,
I love Jack Lemmon.
They did it. Let's face it. The reason they did it is so they can, drive a lawnmower over it. So it's more for convenience than anything else.
Right. Yeah. Have you seen Jack Lemmon's grave? It just says Jack Lemmon starring in, and that's it. That's the grave.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
It's funny. Anyway, this was.
Oh, go ahead.
Huh?
This is an actual headstone, right?
Yeah. It's just like, and it's flat and simple. You might like not look twice at it. And then when you look at it, you're like, oh shit, it's Jack Lemmon starring in. He's dead. Starring in a coffin. But it's this Black Terror book. I what's funny is I'm a new creator, and it's really cool to hear like wise people, elder statesmen, if you will, like make comment on my art and tell me what they see in it. Because you're right, first of all, and I gain insight into myself though. I learn about myself because I'm relatively new to this. Monster MD was my first book. This is just my second. And people are like, how do you, what are you as a creator? And I feel like I'm still figuring it out in a ways, but I feel like I figured out myself more by doing this Black Terror script. It's kind of brought me into a new realm of comic creating that to where I feel more at the top of my game than ever, more confident, more happy with what I'm making. So.
Well, what's the difference between like you're taking an established IP, which is Black Terror, versus Monster MD, which you created from scratch? So how do you feel it's different, or how did you find yourself more in this versus something that you created, 100% yourself?
I felt like Black Terror as a character had so much potential that wasn't being utilized, and that I had a chance to make him so cool that like he could compete with anything on the shelves. And that in and of itself was like an exciting challenge for me as a creator. I get attracted to like the challenge of different books and stories that I could do. And I just felt I mean, there's something so fun about like taking an all black clad character with the skull on the chest and turning him into something so much better than what's already out there. That's an honor to me to do that for him, to make him more of a character, more layered, give him a wife, give him, give him real problems, make him relatable. He's not just pirate super dude. He's a damaged guy with like, with his own fears. So yeah, all those things attracted me to like that. And so I stopped looking at him as, oh, this is just my take on a golden age. Instead, I looked at it as an opportunity to do something so cool that like everyone would be like, what the hell is this? What is that? So that's what got me excited. And the way I create, I'll create like character designs, and that gets me excited. And I show my art friends. And if the excitement goes up, then maybe I'll create something further. Or maybe it doesn't go up. Maybe it's just something to put in a folder for another day type creation. And I'll let it sit. And then maybe I'll get back to it someday, which would be awesome. But yeah, so it's all. And when I designed the characters for this with Monica, it reached this next level excitement to where I was like, man, this could potentially be my next book. And then Monica just said, yes, I want to do it. I think we could do it a brilliant terror. And so I'm all in. So like once everything lined up, I was like, hell yeah, we can make terror work. We could use the fact that he's Golden Age as an advantage instead of just like, ho hum, he's been done before type thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Lady Satan. I love her so much, man, this character. The Mystic on Ballistic. She's she also has her roots in vengeance, like terror, and so they kind of buddy up to mess Nazis up sometimes. She's the only hero. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's a Golden Age hero from the 30s who would just kill Nazis dead with knives and guns because her husband was murdered by them. So that's pretty much her story here in our book as well. She saw him firebombed right in front of her, saw his face melt off, and she's been on a quest for vengeance ever since as a gun witch. She's a mix of guns meets witchy stuff. And as you can see, she comes in with 6 guns blazing, literally. Floating guns moving all around her. She's acrobatic. She's mouthy. She's funny. She's got gun barrels for heels. Some people call her the Scarlet Bayonetta for the video game fans out there. And she's, I don't know. To me, I've always wanted to do a gun witch character. Back in the day, Golden Age, they made her kill with guns, but then they did a version of her that was witchy and mystic. So I just combined the two and made it this awesome Avenger character that could hang out with Black Terror a bit and kind of has her own little story arc through this. So
yeah, I like the double cape look. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those crazy sleeves. And yeah, it makes her, witchy while also just fun, She had that cloak kind of even back in the day. So we're still pretty true to her overall. It's just that we made her more, witchcraft meets like an intense artillery of guns flying at you and busting you up.
Yeah, we have in the next black and white story arc, we have this character named Juju, and she's I call her a technomancer. So instead of a necromancer, she's a technomancer. So she has traditional kind of like powers to raise the dead and stuff like that. But she uses technology as well. So she filters the magic through the technology. So when I see these like rune symbols or whatever these are, like operating the guns, I'm getting that kind of like supernatural vibe with like, technology, which is the handguns. I think that's a great combination of things. You don't see it a lot.
Yeah. It's fun. It makes sense too. I just love the idea of this chick running while all these guns are floating around her, just blasting away. It's ferocious. It's fun. It's
so her gun belt, does it hold what is that, eight guns?
I just have 2 guns shown as the design. I was thinking like maybe there's like guns, like she could have the vest, But I was like, no, those can be more like the mystic guns that like disappear when she's done. And, like,
okay. So she can manifest them and then, okay.
Right. Yeah. That way she's not like over, even though I love the idea of a character coated in guns, like that's fun. For her and with her cloak design and everything, I'm just going with the 2 guns on the hips, but then she's got those sweet gun heels.
And then she can multiply them. Yeah, that's cool. Oh my gosh, look at this.
She comes in blazing.
Okay, so it's a past story, but then there's like, is this like a contemporary Nazi kind of?
Yeah. So these are the Black Reich. The Nazis from his past that used the sawback blades have organized, and this is taking place in 1975. At this point, his entire neighborhood has been decimated. It is an ashen battleground of rubble and death. And Lady Satan is on the scene helping out. She jumps in, starts blazing away. And these Black Rock guys, these are kind of like your foot soldier types. They are armored to the teeth, and they are stronger than a normal person. They have been enhanced chemically by Dr. Kaufenstein, their Führer, their doctor / mad scientist.
They got this great freaking Darth Vader look, but I mean, they're very original. I don't want to make it sound like that I'm.
Oh, of course.
But holy shit, dude, these designs are great.
Thanks, man. I'm very like the way I work. I'm really like part of the joy for me and the fun I have is designing the characters. Like I have to do it. And also I'm very controlling. I have my vision, so I have to do it. And Monica helps. Like she adds things that are great that do make the character like the cut, you know. But I'm very meticulous, so like I love hearing that. Thank you. Like I want my designs to just hit people.
This is great stuff. Art is 50% done, and we expect a fast turnaround with frequent updates as we go. A terrorizing cast. So I saw these early on, man. This already blew me away when I saw these.
Yeah. Are you able to zoom in on them a little bit, or is that
no?
Okay.
Somebody probably could, but I can't.
Gotcha. Well, these were what we made where I was able to test the waters a little bit and be like, what do people think? And thanks, man. There you go.
I figured it out. There you go.
Nice. So like with these, I was able to once again get a little more excited and realize maybe this could be my next project. I mean, you have to make sure you're ready to be married to something before you do it. And it was so cool. Like every time I showed people this, they freaked out. I knew one of the things that would help sell this would not just be badass Black Terror. It would be the cast. So we made these. I was like, Monica, we have to make these like character designs unlike people have ever seen. Like they have to be in motion. And I gave her like a list of all the different actions I would like to see, you know, and then make a cool collage. And then Monica kills it. She absolutely destroys it. So we got these sweet designs. We're actually selling these as high quality prints in the campaign.
Oh yeah, I would pay money for these. Look at these. These are awesome.
Yeah, man. I invented the villains myself, but Black Terror, of course, and Lady Satan are Golden Agers. So those are free to use. But these other villains, like this is me having fun. I'm having a good time. This is how I like to create. I'm up late at night. I'm designing this character, Detonetta. She's kind of my Baroness from G.I. Joe, but more sociopathic than ever. Like her cells excite rapidly and then emit explosions. So she's she's something else. And then we have the girl with golden scopes for eyes, Lockshot, sniper who doesn't need a scope. She's total badass and uses her mom's Russian, very ahead of its time, actually, World War II sniper rifle to take fools out.
That's sweet. She's got fried eggs for eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, golden eggs of doom.
Golden eggs. That's like a Bond villain.
Golden face. There's what is it? Oh, this guy's the Dr. Kaufenstein is the mad scientist doctor who's kind of the head of the Black Reich, and he was inspired by Black Terror himself and his own creations to make his own types of terror gas and terror injections and chemicals. And so he's like classic Nazi madman doctor, of course, right? And then, of course, my excuse to do the character Trapjaw from He-Man as a Nazi zombie is in the character on the right with Sawback. He's a cyborg Nazi zombie. He's everything badass in the world.
He's your Frankenstein. He's the warrior. And
he's the trapper. He's a trappery type. He's, and he has this button on his back that he presses and releases chemicals into his spine, and it kind of soups him up for battle.
Wow, this looks great.
TerraCycle.
The TerraCycle.
It just, it's like sometimes when you're creating, it just seems obvious, like, of course he has a TerraCycle. Like, he has to, it's one of those things. And when it happens easily, it's like, it's always a good time. It's always
fun. These are like old school, like comic book ideas, but the thing is you embrace it. Like we were talking about Big Trouble in Little China, like you embrace it, like, and you do it to the best it can be done. And so like, there's a lot of people that just go, oh, well, this is silly, or this is whatever, I mean, believe it or not, when I worked on Superman, they were like, this was the creative in these conferences, Vaughn. They would say, Superman's corny. How do we make him cool? These are the creators. This is Jerry Ordway. This is Dan Jurgens, saying these things. It's like, what are you talking about? It's Superman.
Did you forget?
Just do great Superman stories. That's all people want. And, I look at this and I'm still like, cool. He's got a skull on his fairing there. And I have to ask, you have the X on the headlight. Does that shine an X? Like, so if it hits the wall, like the light will show an X?
I don't know. That's a great question. I thought people have that on their bikes. I thought it might be cool for him and his design, but I don't know how much it dissipates the light into like a straight X unless you're like right up on the wall.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like, there's a great visual where he could be like, it's an alley,
up on a wall.
He's on the bike, and then it's showing off, like this X, on the person, so you get, it's kind of like a spotlight, but it's
a good idea.
It's almost like a gun sight as well. It's like,
like, I've got you targeted. I love it. That's a visual for sure. The first time you see the bike in this, well, no, I shouldn't spoil that. I'm gonna leave that out. But like the first time you see it, it's pretty badass. You're gonna love it. You're gonna cheer. God. But see, that's what's interesting, Art, is throughout my whole life of creating, I've had from everything from music to art to comics to just whatever. My screenplays, definitely in my screenplay work, someone would go, "That's corny. That's cheesy. I don't like that." And I was just like, you shut the hell up. Like, this is the way I like to create. But then when I put it in comics, everyone gets it. Everyone appreciates it.
It's everyone the language. And it's done so well. Like I'm always like one of those
it's not corny.
It's kind of like the Jack Kirby thing. I remember it was like Rolling Stone or something. They interviewed him and they said, do you like modern music? Do you like whatever? It was like the 60s. So they were trying to like shock this old man, the interviewer. And then Jack Kirby just had the perfect line. And he just said, I'm a fan of anything if it's well done. Like, I can appreciate.
I like good art.
Yeah, I can appreciate anything. Like, I'm not a country guy, a country Western music, but you know what, Johnny Cash, I'm all there. You know what I mean? Like, if it's done really well, I can get into it. So even if it's something that I don't naturally like, if it's done well, I can appreciate it. And I think like this stuff is done so well, like you can't not appreciate it. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm going for, man. Thank you. Yes, I agree. Good art.
I got to back up. I got to clarify. What I mean by that is that if there is somebody that's saying it's corny, or if there is somebody like that, because I don't want to make it seem like, whatever. I'm getting myself in a corner here, but I just want to.
Fine.
Okay.
You're just fine, dude. It's those people who called my stuff corny didn't like. You have to understand that was in an era where you're having to collaborate with people and deal with them. And now that I get to do it myself, look at what it looks like. Like, that work speaks for itself. Like, it's not corny. It's cool as hell.
Yeah, that's cool. Like you're taking tropes that could potentially be corny, but you're making them exceptionally cool. I think that's the point we're trying to make.
You're saying it right. Like, it's I'm using the classic tropes here, but damn, are they cool? Like, aren't they? Damn, there's a reason they're tropes. They work, and they can be done in a way that's well done and powerful, for sure.
Yeah, I talked to a friend. He was a writer friend, and we were working on a project together. And he was saying stuff like, "Well, that's a trope, or that's a cliche, or whatever." And he goes, "I don't like to do those." And I said, "You realize all those things are there for a reason. Like when you say it's a cliche or it's a trope, those are the proven formulas. Those are the things that work. Like you can say, like we're going to embrace those things." But we're going to do them with like a unique twist or something like that. But to say you hate those, I don't know how you can do a sci-fi story and not make it a cautionary tale. You know, that's a trope. You know, like if you're going to do a Western, there has to be the man in white and then the man in black. You know, there has to be the guy that's the quick draw. You know, there's like certain things that you have to do. You have to have
imagine you go to a really fancy restaurant and you just order like steak and potatoes. Like, what? Everyone has that. Like, why would you order that? Why did you? That's a trope. Like, that's cliche. Everyone eats just meat and potatoes. That's boring. But like, you're eating the best meat and potatoes of your life. Like, you're having the time of your life. Like, I'm a meat and potatoes entertainer. You know, like this is your. But it's like I has to have great style. You know what I mean? I'm really into style and design too. But like But like, I'm like a Gordon Ramsay who comes in and he's like, take all your fancy shit out of this kitchen, give them some good quality meat and veggies and like, and put it out, you know, and then everyone's happy. You know what I mean? But like, those aren't cliches or tropes. Those are what works. So yeah, I mean, good tropes are tools for things that can work to make your story
But I do
better.
think there are people, I haven't really worked in other industries too much, but like in comics, there is kind of like some people have this contempt for the actual content. You know what I mean? So they're like, oh, it's cliche, or it's for kids, or it's this, that, or the other thing. And it's almost like they have this contempt for it. But with that contempt, they feel like, well, I'm not going to fall into those tropes. I'm going to like do it differently. But the thing is, those are the key things that make it work. You know what I mean? Like those are the things that are what the concept is, or what the what is it, the genre is, or whatever, you know, whatever you're doing. And I'm glad you agree, because I'm just like, I'm so sick of that. Like, just do it well. Just have a story to tell. You know, have an original take on the trope or the idea.
Use it to your advantage.
Yeah, but don't discount it. Don't like have contempt for it.
Yeah. That's like saying, I'm like looking at a tool shed and going, I'm not going to use all those tools over there. I just use this one, and that's all I can do. You know, if I had that attitude, I wouldn't have written this Black Terror script, because I took a lot of joy in the tropes. Like, for instance, he's a dark avenging hero. Like, we've seen it. He's a dark avenging hero who's losing his mind to his own powers or whatever, like, you know, who might go berserk on his own friends. We've seen it. He's, you know, he has a dark past where he, you know, his past comes back to haunt him, and he's a haunted hero. We've seen it. All these things are so cool when done well, though. Like, this told Black Terror's story for me. Like, I use those tropes as power instead of just running away, because the idea that you're going to write the most original, newest thing ever, the idea that new is cruise control for successful or resonating with people is weird to me. Like, you're not going to tell a really good story, hit them in the heart, hit them in the human, and you can do cool shit. And I'll just keep talking while Art goes and does stuff. But yeah, man.
I'm sorry, I smell like smoke. I was like, what is that?
Probably me.
You're on fire, baby.
Woo! But no, man, it's my thing is about making the core has to be a good story. And if tropes help me tell like the ultimate Dark Avenger story, and I can use some of those classic Dark Avenger tropes, I'm having fun doing it. I'm not worrying. I'm not sweating.
Yeah, and I think those are the proven formula too. Those are the things that have worked over the years. So like you said, if you have a hammer, why wouldn't you use it? You know, if you have a saw, why wouldn't you use it? But I do think that, you know, just a little tangent here is I think that's what's wrong with comic books. And I've met a lot of these people that they almost feel like they're better than the work. You know what I mean? Like they're too good for it. and then they have kind of contempt for it. And I think, excuse me, that's why you see a lot of the SJW politics come in, because these are people that don't want to embrace those things that made these characters great. They kind of want to, they have contempt for them. And that's the only way I can explain it, is why you would change it so fundamentally, because if you really loved what it was and you loved what the character stood for at the core, then you wouldn't be doing this. You know what I mean?
That's right. And they believe from their ideology that by making these changes, the world is now magically a better place. They're true believers in that, like a religion almost. And so they don't mind changing it for the greater good. But in the end, it's also, like you said, it comes from a place of contempt. You can't create with an attitude of destruction. Like you can't create with an attitude of white men set this up and it's up to us to tear it all down. Like, you can't make the world a better place with that attitude. And also the whole, they look at like older things as, part of an old white guy thing, and it's up to us to take it over and make it ours. And so it's, instead of appreciating it for all those great things, that the joy that it's bring, the proven success and the sales over the years, the greatness of the characters, and moving on to film and video games and making billions of dollars, like, they don't care. There's no reverence. They just throw it out.
Yeah, definitely. So who did these pinups right here?
So we have a fabulous pinup by Kelsey Shannon on the left there. And then we have Monica McCagney and my colorist Tiago Barca tearing it up on the right.
Oh, killer. And then this right here.
Oh man.
The little prop. Like, I'm a big fan of like props, like comic book props and things like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's nothing compared to what you have, but we had, with the Chrono, we had the Lucky guitar pick. We had Doug's guitar.
Yeah, I loved that.
And I love stuff like that's like a prop from like the story. And this is like the ultimate prop. Look at this thing, man.
This is so badass. The Terragas vial, it looks like it came right off Terra's belt. It's like got the chrome. It looks like it's been aged. He pops the tops of one of these and inhales the Terragas in battle, and he can heal himself with it. It's very important, but it's even more importantly, it is part of the plot, and you will see this in book 1. And so when you're reading your book, you're going to look over at this thing and go, holy shit. Like, this is an amazing replica, man. I've never made one before, and I've like loved doing it, designing it with, I worked with Dead Sun Prime on this, and he's done amazing work. What else can I say? I'm getting a finished, or I'm going to get pictures of what like the more finished version will look today, but we're talking about adding some other features to it for free that will make the skull on it glow in the dark.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That would be cool if you could do it, is make the skull like transparent and then put a light in the vial. So then it would like
glow.
In the light, it would be the same effect, but it would be kind of, probably a little bit more brighter, I guess.
Right, be like eerie. Oh, that'd be cool.
When I was a kid,
be like a nightlight.
Yeah, when I was a kid, man, I loved glow in the dark shit.
I still have an affinity because my T-shirts glow in the dark too. This campaign. I just love it.
Isn't it somehow it has to like absorb so much like sunlight or like natural
ultraviolet
light?
Yeah,
ultraviolet.
And like if you put a black light up against it, it will absorb it and glow right away.
Oh, okay. So it could be like an incandescent light, or it doesn't have to be sunlight.
I think it has to be UV light, because that's what ultraviolet is pretty much. It's still black, even though it's black light, like it's UV. Like under UV light, it'll glow on its own, I think, and then charge up, I think. Or maybe it's the sun. I can't remember. I think the sunlight does have to hit it for a little while before you get that glow juice, though.
Yeah, I don't know, but I remember being disappointed as a kid if I didn't charge it up properly. It wouldn't glow.
Hang out in the sun, man. Oh, yeah. Well,
Evil will know terror again. That's a great tagline. Yeah.
Thanks. And it works well with this because I'm kind of bringing Black Terror back and saying, hey, look at him. Look what he can do. He's all new and all badass, and yet he's been around the block. He's from the old days.
Yeah, this is great, man. This is really cool. This is a well-designed, well put together campaign. We
Thank
got
you.
Preston here.
Oh, Preston Acevedo. We already sold that sketch, but the painting I think is still up for grabs.
Oh, okay.
On comic board acrylics.
Is this like what size is this?
I think that he said comic board, but I don't know if that means 11 by 17 or not.
I think it does. Yeah.
It usually means that. Usually.
That's good size.
Yeah. So, and it's been bonded to masonite.
Oh, okay.
So it's got that thickness and that,
So
presentation quality.
Team. Who's this Von Klaus dude?
I don't know. What's his deal?
What's he?
Yeah, it's almost the entire team from Monster MD. We lost. We don't have Tanya this time around, but Tiago's been killing it with colors. He's from Grommed. If anyone remembers Galactic Rodents of Mayhem, that was a real fun one.
Galactic Rodents of Mayhem.
Yeah.
And Punchline. Oh, I remember the color on Punchline. I never saw Grom, but I do remember Punchline.
When I saw Grom, I wanted to hire him. I just dreamed of working with him and thought I never would, and then I ended up getting him for Terror, and it's just been perfect.
So Rise Again is your brand. This is a really amazing looking campaign. I dig it. And
thanks.
Let me hit this. I should make this smaller. Oh shit! What did I do? Oh my god! What am I?
Welcome to Boomerville. Population us.
What the hell did I do?
I'll be right back. You set this up. I'll be right back.
Okay. Oh my gosh, where am I? Oh, where do I go? Oh, here I go. I'm back. I'm back, baby. As soon as this thing boots up, there we go. All right. That's not good. How do I do this? Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, I figured it out. I'm back. So yeah, we got let's see. Sorry about that, you guys. Not used to all these buttons. So I'm going back in time, back in the chat. We got Mr. Von Stugel. How you doing? We got Lloyd Burton. How are you? We got AV8R Surge. I'm just saying hi to people. Cheers.
Thanks for coming, guys.
And also, you guys, the link is in the description to Terror in the Trenches. So if you like what we're talking about, like what we showed you, just click on that link and go back yourself a book. Just great stuff. So you want to start wrapping things up, Vaughn?
Yeah. Do you want to show the trailer, or do you want me to just?
Yeah. Let me come back.
We've been on for over an hour, but that's been great. Thanks for showcasing me, man. It's been awesome. I love talking with you about story and art and just learning comics. What's going on in comics more. It's been great.
Oh, I remember what I need to do. There we go. I hit the wrong button before. I need to make it normal size. Okay, here we go. This is the video. You can see the video now?
Yes.
Okay. Let me turn up the sound.
Thank you.
So it was Annie's Pharmacy.
Yeah, they called it Annie's.
Before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Yeah, great stuff. Let me hit refresh. 30,000. Oh, yeah, you went up. Cool. 31,085. You got 476 backers. And are you 4 days into this?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 days in.
Oh man.
Yeah, must be 5 now. Yeah, that's been amazing. Thanks, everybody.
That's not too bad. Yeah, that's not too
Yeah.
bad. Yeah. So, before we go though, I want to let you guys know. So, if you like what Von Klaus does here, he has lent his talents to black and white. So he wrote the High Octane Adventures that is drawn in an animation style by Pedro Ang, and that book looks incredible. I kind of already teased it in a stupid way when I was clicking all kinds of buttons. But let's show this page off real quick. See if it's still there. There it is. Yeah, so I sent this to you, right, Vaughn?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
It's so cool. That's an opener.
Yeah. And this is, when I've seen all those like splash and then splash, like that's in this book too, you guys. So you get Von Klaus pacing, you get Von Klaus story. It's an incredible story. I want to. God, it's so hard not talking about this stuff.
I know. It's that type of story.
Yeah. But it's so cool. I like stuff like this where between you and Pedro, you've kind of brought stuff to the black and white universe that is going to be canon. I'm gonna build on some of these ideas. Excuse me. Like Pedro has kind of redesigned the costumes or the uniforms a little bit. So I'm going to bring that into it. And you guys brought them into a little bit more of a future world than I had. So I think I'm going to up my my game with that as well, because you guys are really just inspiring me with what you put together. So the whole book is pretty much penciled. We're finishing up the colors right now, and I'm working real close with Pedro. He's really, really good, but this is his first comic book. So I'm kind of like not holding his hand, but kind of like just kind of helping him along and tweaking things a little bit here and there. And I just love being creative, and I love working with other creative minded people. So it's one of my favorite things. Like for a while there, every morning, Pedro and I, at 10 o'clock, I'd send him the link and we'd work till 1 o'clock, going back and forth and just kind of building on artwork and stuff like that. So,
awesome.
Yeah, just great stuff. I mean, everybody in CG is fantastic. Yeah. And so you guys, black and white, Man versus Machine, the link is in the description. So even though it's in demand, don't let it slow you down, because we're closing in on 100K. And then we have Terror in the Trenches of Von Klaus's new book, which is fantastic. And if you don't know, he's the genius behind Monster MD as well. And that book is fantastic. So, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you,
Vaughn. I really, really appreciate it. It's always a blast hanging out with you. It's weird, man. It seems like I could this like 2 hours or hour goes like fast. It's like
it's always fast.
Yeah. So thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks, Past Master Dan, for putting in all the links to the campaigns. I do appreciate it. Good times, and future success, man. Big success for Terror in the Trenches. I know it's just gonna do exceptionally well.
Yeah, and people need to check out the black and white. Like, the story that we're doing is so kick-ass, the extra stuff. It's like one of my favorite script, like 20 pagers, I've written. So thanks for hiring me for that, man. It was just
it was
nothing but a blast.
Like we tried something a little different, where we went like the old school, just one and done, like Marvel DC 22-page format as just an experiment. And I was really surprised how much content you got in for 22 pages. Because it almost seems like a lost art form, because everything's long form now. All comics are like long form stuff. And you managed to get like a really satisfactory, like it feels good. It feels like you're getting your money's worth, in 22 pages. And I haven't seen a comic book done like this in decades.
Awesome.
It was really good. Really, really good. I am so proud of it. I'm so thankful I got the talents that I got, on that campaign. So thank you so much. And you guys go back, Terror in the Trenches. It's an amazing book. So everybody have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tonight on the King Show on Ethan's channel.